you in your head size up Floyd like was you know what I'm saying? If we was ever keep it real, boy, keep it real.
I'm never that type of guy.
Floyd Mayweather has issued some strong advice to Canelo Alvarez after he spent time sparring and training with Terence Crawford.
Been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight.
Yeah.
I never looked at him like, man.
Here we go.
Actually, it was Terence Crawford and his team who invited Floyd Mayweather to their training camp to help him get ready for Crawford's big fight on September 12th. Mayweather wasn't just there to spar with Crawford. He also worked closely with him, giving tips and strategies to help Crawford win in September. In a video shared on social media, the two were seen having a discussion by the ringside, with Crawford and his trainers paying close attention to Mayweather's advice. Later, the two stepped into the ring where Mayweather showed Crawford how to improve his defense, positioning, footwork, and movement. When they sparred, Crawford was aggressive at times, landing punches on Mayweather's defense. There were also moments when Crawford fought on the back foot, trying to fend against Mayweather's attacks. After their training session, Mayweather was asked for his opinion on Crawford's skills. He praised Crawford, saying, "Crawford is a great fighter, one of the best of his generation. He reminds me a bit of myself and my past opponents. I love that he's hungry and working hard to leave a lasting legacy in boxing."
In his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it? I mean, what? Because and I told people this. I said, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd is not that he trains. I mean, it's his life, and from the very beginning, he's like, I want to be the best.
He was also asked. Mayweather was also asked if Crawford had what it takes to beat Canelo Alvarez. His response was clear and confident. "I've always said Canelo is a great fighter, but he has weaknesses. Whether Canelo is 23 or 35, those weaknesses are still there. Crawford's style can exploit those weaknesses. You saw in his last fight, Canelo didn't look too impressive. My pick for the winner? Crawford, for sure. He's got what it takes."
When I fought Canelo, I was 36 and Canelo was 23, around the same age. Some of these guys won world titles and was undisputed champion. I think, the Tank age, the young low champions. Mm-hmm. Canelo was 23 with 43 fights and 30 knockouts.
The video of Crawford and Mayweather training together caused quite a stir online. Fans rushed to comment, amazed by seeing two legends working together. One fan wrote, "I'm so proud of Crawford for taking these important steps. Canelo is definitely not ready for what Crawford's going to bring." Another fan added, "The ring is full of greatness right now. If Crawford and Canelo ever fought, I think Crawford would win." Another pointed out, "Crawford needs to listen to Floyd to beat Canelo, and he should also learn from Bivol. There's something about their footwork and style that makes them special."
He was inexperienced. I was 36 with 40-something fights. And to tell you the truth, I was over the hill. And so when I fight guys, when I'm in my 30s and they're in their 30s, you know what they say? "Oh, this guy all washed up."
One other fellow commented. One more fan expressed their support. "I love seeing Crawford get the support he needs. I feel like he'll win by decision. Big thanks to Floyd Mayweather for helping him out." Mayweather fought Canelo back in 2013 for the WBC and WBA light middleweight titles. At that time, Canelo was facing his toughest challenge yet, but Mayweather dominated the fight and won on points. Despite the judges' scorecards being closer than expected, most boxing fans agreed that Mayweather was clearly the winner.
Fans.
Floyd, what'd you think of Canelo's performance against Billy Joe Saunders?
I didn't even see it. What do you fight on the app? You said he fight on the app now, right?
Yeah.
Well, the real fighters fight on Showtime.
The more his legacy grows, the more you're...
Mayweather controlled the fight, using his experience to outclass Canelo over the 12 rounds. However, one judge scored the fight as a draw, which baffled many, including Mayweather. In an interview, Mayweather didn't hold back when talking about Canelo's performance, saying, "Canelo was nothing. He was an easy win. I was almost 40 years old, and I beat him easily."
It's not that they don't want to see Tank win because they feel like it's beating me because I dominated the fight game for so long. But these same writers out here, they praise Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to fight.
Yours grows. Would you agree with that?
Canelo?
Right.
Oh, that's the easy one.
We're going to just try and get...
People, a lot of times guys be like, well, I'm bigger. I got a longer reach. I'm a better fighter. Do that.
Mayweather retired shortly after that fight, but Canelo has remained one of boxing's biggest names. He's won world titles at middleweight, super middleweight, and light heavyweight, even becoming the undisputed champion in the 168-pound division. After that loss to Mayweather, Canelo went on a 15-fight winning streak, adding more titles to his collection. Now, he's preparing for a massive fight later this year against Crawford. Some believe the weight difference could be a big challenge for Crawford, who would have to move up from 154 pounds to 168 pounds for the fight.
It's not that they don't want to see Tank win because they feel like it's beating me because I dominated the fight game for so long. But these same writers out here, they praise Canelo. He can pick and choose who he want to fight. And I'm going to tell y'all the truth about it.
Since Canelo is naturally much bigger than Crawford, some people think this could lead to a knockout win for Canelo, similar to when Canelo fought Amir Khan, who moved up 2 divisions to fight him. Mayweather shared his thoughts on Canelo's power after their fight, saying, "Canelo's power didn't concern me at all. It's nothing I hadn't already felt after 20 years in the sport."
Which fight was more difficult between Mayweather or Bivol, and why?
I think both are similar, just Bivol is bigger.
Mayweather's comments might give Crawford some confidence, especially considering that Canelo hasn't knocked out any of his last 5 opponents. Currently, Canelo holds the WBC, WBA, and WBO titles at 168 pounds and will likely face Crawford later this year in what could be one of boxing's most talked about matchups. Canelo's only other career loss came in 2022 when Dimitri Bivol beat him in a clear decision.
Canelo did what he had to do to get the victory.
What do you want next? It seems like that's going to be the fight. Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, the biggest fight in boxing.
Well, Canelo's the face of boxing. He's the best fighter for Terence Crawford out there. He's the biggest fight for Terence Crawford out there. So that's why Terence Crawford want to take the opportunity to share a ring with another great.
How do you beat him?
You'll see.
It's been almost 12 years since Canelo's first loss to Mayweather when he was just 23 years old. At that time, Canelo didn't have the experience he has today. Now, Canelo is a much more seasoned fighter, but that loss has clearly stuck with him. Canelo believes the fight with Mayweather came too early in his career, and that he's a different fighter now.
Everyone's talking about the weight differences. What's your kind of response to that, Terence?
That's why we fight the fight. So September 12th, we all going to see if the weight going to make a difference or not.
Do you want to fight him twice and then retire? Is that kind of the ideal thing for you?
One fight at a time. One fight at a time.
What did you make of, I know you didn't say much on tonight, the effectiveness of William School? He came to decision as opposed to win the fight. Would you agree with that?
Canelo is now a huge name in boxing, and he's preparing for another massive challenge. His upcoming fight with Crawford is expected to take place in September, assuming Canelo successfully defends his titles in May. Canelo's interview with Ring magazine shows that he's looking forward to proving how much he's grown since that first loss to Mayweather.
Canelo's a hell of a fighter. There's a lot of great Mexican fighters. That's not for me to rate fighters. I just take my hat off to so many fighters that paved the way, for me to be where I'm at, just, throughout life. Canelo's a hell of a fighter.
But that is... Canelo recently shared his thoughts, saying, "I always believed I needed more experience before facing Mayweather. But I've learned a lot since then, and now I want to prove what kind of fighter I am today." 15. As the fight between Terence Crawford and Canelo Alvarez gets closer, many boxing experts are offering their opinions. Crawford, known for his versatility and technical skills, plans to move up 2 weight classes to challenge Canelo, the undisputed super middleweight champion. This bold move has divided opinions among experts.
What was that like? I trained so hard, and now obviously I try to beat him because, if you beat him, you want to be the best in the world at 23.
What do you think was so impressive about him?
His experience, he's so smart. He have everything in a fighter, a complete fighter. He don't have power in the punches, but when you that kind of fighter, you don't need it.
You think that was the toughest fight you faced?
No.
What do you think?
I think it's tough fights and difficult fights.
When Coppinger threw that theory out there, Alvarez responded, "To show people I'm different now, that I'm an experienced fighter today."
One prominent voice is former heavyweight champion Deontay Wilder. In a recent interview, Wilder expressed concern about Crawford's move from 147 pounds to 168 pounds.
It's not real, it's just a cash grab. What are your thoughts on that? Would that be something that you would do?
Look, he's retired. He can do whatever he wants, right? And I think I'm gonna miss boxing when I'm retired a lot, and maybe I can do 1 or 2, but
that's a huge jump. It's different fighting heavier guys. Their punches hit harder, and it takes time to adjust. However, Crawford has been closing the weight gap by capturing the WBA's super welterweight title.
Boxing well, and then he just stopped doing what he was doing earlier. I don't know. I can't call it.
Do you think Canelo slipped as a fighter?
No, I don't. I just think that, William was doing a good job neutralizing Canelo power punches. He was just moving a lot.
Do you think that's a style you have to employ in points of the fight?
I don't know, because if you watch the styles that beat him, they didn't move a lot. They move a little bit, but not as much.
I'm not even a fan of that fight. There are too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah.
Even with this achievement, Crawford still faces a 14-pound difference between himself and Canelo. Canelo's power and stamina in the super middleweight division are well known. Despite his 2 career losses, Canelo has proven himself to be one of the toughest fighters in boxing. This fight promises to be a huge spectacle, but Crawford faces a major challenge.
If they do, I'll be there. You know what I mean? That's going to be a good one. Both of them great guys. They got great talent. And
to succeed, Crawford will need to show incredible adaptability and resilience against a fighter as powerful as Canelo. While Wilder's concerns about the weight difference are valid, the excitement surrounding the fight is undeniable. Fans are eagerly anticipating a showdown between 2 of boxing's top talents, and it's shaping up to be one of the sport's most thrilling events.
Very determined, got that killer instinct, and in this sport, that's what you need. You gotta have a killer instinct. If you don't, you're gonna get knocked out.
Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160. Yeah, Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. Yeah. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor. And that's why I'm not even a fan of that fight. I think Crawford has
Boxing trainer Teddy Atlas has also weighed in on the potential fight, stating that he finds it hard to bet against Crawford. Very few fighters are willing to challenge themselves like Crawford. Atlas said, "Canelo is bigger and stronger, but Crawford will find a way to use his skills to deal with Canelo's size." Atlas believes Crawford has all the tools to win and become the undisputed champion in his third weight class.
Terence Crawford as one of the top 5 fights that he wants to see this year. Is that a fight that you're considering now?
We'll see. We'll see. Everything is possible. We'll see. We want to talk about it, sit down really well and figure out something.
I know you thought he was kind of a lose-lose situation.
Many boxing insiders believe Crawford can beat Canelo, but it's clear this fight will be a tough challenge for both fighters. According to boxing insider Ray Jackson, Canelo is expected to receive $150 million for fight against Crawford, a figure that Canelo has
been happy for him, been a fan of his, and I never imagined us fight. Yeah. I never looked at him like, man.
Here we go.
Actually, it was Terence Crawford and his team who invited Floyd Mayweather to their training camp to help them get ready for Crawford's big fight on September 12th. Mayweather wasn't just there to spar with Crawford. He also worked closely with him, giving tips and strategies to help Crawford win in September. In a video shared on social media, the two were seen having a discussion by the ringside, with Crawford and his trainers paying close attention to Mayweather's advice. Later, the two stepped into the ring where Mayweather showed Crawford how to improve his defense, positioning, footwork, and movement. When they sparred, Crawford was aggressive at times, landing punches on Mayweather's defense. There were also moments when Crawford fought on the back foot, trying to fend against Mayweather's attacks. After their training session, Mayweather was asked for his opinion on Crawford's skills. He praised Crawford, saying, "Crawford is a great fighter, one of the best of his generation. He reminds me a bit of myself and my past opponents. I love that he's hungry and working hard to leave a lasting legacy in boxing."
In his absolute prime, and I take Manny Pacquiao in his absolute prime.
Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd still beats him.
Floyd beat everybody.
You don't believe there's a guy at 140, 147 in the history of boxing that could have beat Floyd in his prime?
It'd be tough. Floyd, man, that boy, man, that's the GOAT, man. That boy bad.
What makes it? I mean, what? Because and I told people this. I said, look at Floyd. I said, Floyd is not that he trains. I mean, it's his life, and from the very beginning, he's like, I want to be the best.
He was also asked. Mayweather was also asked if Crawford had what it takes to beat Canelo Alvarez. His response was clear and confident. "I've always said Canelo is a great fighter, but he has weaknesses. Whether Canelo is 23 or 35, those weaknesses are still there. Crawford's style can exploit those weaknesses. You saw in his last fight, Canelo didn't look too impressive. My pick for the winner? Crawford, for sure. He's got what it takes."